Dad, you're breaking out because you're old, and your immune system is failing. Derek stood in my doorway, blocking me from coming in. My own daughter's house, where I'd lived for 6 months. It's stress-related. You need to see a doctor. Behind him, I could see my bedroom, the bed I'd been sleeping in, the sheets Laura had changed that morning while I was at my physical therapy appointment. My skin was on fire. Blisters covered my arms, my back, my legs, places bedsheets touch. The ER doctor had asked me 3 times if I'd been hiking. I'm 72 years old with 2 artificial knees. I don't hike. Before we continue, please subscribe to the channel and write in the comments what time it is where you are now. I'd moved in with Laura and Derek 6 months ago. Not because I wanted to, because Laura had insisted. Dad, you can't keep living alone after the fall. The fall. I'd slipped on ice in my driveway, bruised my hip, was back on my feet in a week. But Laura had latched onto it like I'd broken my spine. We have the space. The kids would love having Grandpa around. The kids. Emma was 9. Tyler was 6. Good kids. I did want to see them more. Just until you're steadier on your feet. I'd sold my house, the one I'd lived in for 43 years, the one Martha and I bought in 1981 for $68,000, worth $340,000 when I sold it last March. Laura had helped me pack. Derek had rented the moving truck. They'd set me up in the guest room, 1st floor, private bathroom, my own entrance through the side door. See, Dad? Perfect setup. You're practically independent. That lasted about 3 weeks. Then the rules started. Dad, can you not use the front door? It tracks mud through the living room. Dad, we need the side bathroom for the kids in the morning. Can you shower at night? Dad, Derek has client calls in the morning. Can you keep the TV down? I kept the TV down, used the side door, showered at night, paid them $2,000 a month for room and board. Just to cover groceries and utilities, Laura had said. We're not trying to profit off you. $2,000 a month, $24,000 a year, for a guest room and shared kitchen access. I'd paid it without argument. She was my daughter, my only child. This was family. Then 2 months in, Laura sat me down at the kitchen table. Dad, we need to talk about your assets. Assets, not savings. Assets. Derek sat next to her, had a folder, started pulling out papers. Your investment accounts are sitting in low-yield bonds. You're losing money to inflation. I'd had the same financial advisor for 30 years. Conservative strategy, steady returns, enough to live on comfortably. Derek has a friend who specializes in senior portfolio optimization. Optimization? We could move you into some higher-yield vehicles, really make that money work for you. I looked at Derek. He was smiling, professional smile, the one he used on his real estate clients. I'd be happy to review your full financial picture, no charge, as family. I'm fine with my current setup. Laura's smile tightened. Dad, you're being stubborn. Derek's trying to help. I didn't ask for help. You're 72. You need someone looking out for you. I stood up, went to my room, closed the door, heard them talking in the kitchen. Couldn't make out words, just tone. Derek's voice was clipped, irritated. That was August. By September, the gifts started. Emma's birthday. I bought her the art set she'd been wanting, $60 set from the art supply store. Good quality colored pencils, sketchbook, watercolors. She opened it at her party, smiled, said thank you, then opened Derek's gift, an iPad with a stylus. For digital art, Derek said, loud enough that everyone heard. Professional tools. Emma spent the rest of the party on the iPad. My art set went on a shelf in her closet. Tyler's birthday was October. I bought him the Lego set he'd been building up to. The fire station, $120. Derek bought him the Lego Death Star, $500. I stopped competing after that. Thanksgiving, Laura asked me to help with dinner. Can you make your sweet potato casserole? The one Mom used to make? I made it. Martha's recipe. The one with the pecans and brown sugar topping. The one Laura had always requested for holidays. set it on the table with the rest of the food. Derek looked at it. We're trying to eat healthier this year. Less processed sugar. He'd made roasted Brussels sprouts with balsamic glaze. My casserole sat mostly untouched. After dinner, Derek packed up leftovers, threw out the casserole. 3/4 of it still in the dish. Fridge space is tight. I washed my dish in the sink, watched it go in the trash. December, my back started itching. Just a little. Thought maybe the heater was drying out my skin. Used lotion. Didn't help. Noticed it was worse in the mornings, after sleeping. Thought maybe I was allergic to the new laundry detergent Laura had switched to. Dad, we use hypoallergenic. It's not the detergent. The itching got worse. Started seeing red patches on my lower back, between my shoulder blades. Made an appointment with my doctor. He prescribed a steroid cream. Didn't help. 2 weeks before Christmas, I woke up with blisters. Actual blisters. Across my back, down my sides, on my arms. Went to urgent care. Doctor took one look. This is poison ivy. I haven't been outside, not hiking or anything. Contact with clothing, bedding. Just been sleeping in my room. Someone else bring it in? Pet? No pets. He prescribed prednisone, stronger steroid cream. Told me to wash all my bedding in hot water. I went home, stripped the bed. Laura was in the kitchen. Laura, I need to wash these sheets. Doctor says I've got poison ivy. She looked up from her laptop. Poison ivy? How? Don't know, he said maybe from bedding. I just washed those sheets 3 days ago. Can you wash them again? Hot water? She sighed, closed her laptop. Sure, Dad. I went to my room, started looking around, trying to figure out where poison ivy could have come from. Nothing. Took the prednisone, used the cream. Blisters started healing. 3 days later, Laura changed my sheets again. Regular weekly change. Next morning, the itching came back. By that night, new blisters. I sat on the edge of my bed, looked at the sheets. Fresh, clean, smelled like detergent. Pulled back the comforter. Checked the fitted sheet. Nothing visible. Something wasn't right. Pulled the fitted sheet completely off. Checked the mattress cover. Nothing. Then I saw it. Small brown smear on the underside of the fitted sheet, the part that wraps under the mattress, not visible when the bed's made. I touched it. Felt dried plant material. Crumbled when I rubbed it. My hands started itching within 30 seconds. Someone had put poison ivy in my sheets, on the underside, where I wouldn't see it, where it would touch my skin all night while I slept. I pulled on gloves, stripped the entire bed, checked everything, found more residue, rubbed into the seams of the fitted sheet. Small amounts. Deliberate. I bagged everything, put it by the side door, went to the kitchen. Laura and Derek were watching TV. Laura, I need to talk to you. She looked up. Annoyed. Dad, we're watching something. Someone put poison ivy in my sheets. Silence. Derek turned, looked at me. Face blank. What? Found plant residue on the underside of my fitted sheet. Poison ivy. Laura stood. Dad, that's insane. Why would someone do that? Don't know, but it's there. That's why I keep breaking out. Derek stood too, walked toward me. You're saying someone in this house deliberately poisoned your bed? I'm saying there's poison ivy residue in my sheets. Who do you think did this? His voice was calm, too calm. Don't know. You're accusing Laura? The kids? I'm not accusing anyone. I'm saying there's poison ivy in my bed and I want to know how it got there. Laura's face went red. I wash your sheets every week. I fold your laundry. I make your bed, and you're accusing me of poisoning you? I didn't say you. That's exactly what you're saying. You think I'm putting poison ivy in your bed? Someone is. Derek stepped closer. Or you're having a paranoid episode. That happens with elderly people, especially under stress. Elderly, like I was demented. I have poison ivy in my sheets. That's not paranoia. That's evidence. Evidence of what? A conspiracy? Derek's voice had an edge now. You think Laura's sneaking around with poison ivy trying to hurt you? I think someone put it there. Laura was crying now. I can't believe this. After everything we've done for you. What you've done for me. I pay you $2,000 a month. For a fraction of what it costs. To have you here. Derek's calm was gone. The extra utilities. The groceries. The space. The time Laura spends managing your care. I didn't ask to move here, Laura insisted. Because you fell. Because you couldn't take care of yourself. I slipped on ice. Once. You're 72 years old, living with artificial knees. You need support. I need supports. You put poison ivy in my bed? Derek's jaw tightened. I'm calling your doctor. You're having a breakdown. He walked out. Laura followed. I stood in the kitchen. Alone. Went back to my room. Locked the door. Sat on the bare mattress. Hands still itching where I'd touched the residue. Someone had done this. Someone in this house had deliberately put poison ivy in my sheets. Multiple times. Enough to send me to urgent care twice. Laura was the only one who changed my sheets. But Derek had access to my room. Had the side door key. I pulled out my phone. Started documenting. Took photos of the residue on the sheet. The blisters on my arms. Time-stamped everything. Then I started counting. Not poison ivy. Money. Started counting what I'd given them. The list got long fast. Sold my house in March. $340,000. Paid off the mortgage. Put the rest in savings. Gave Laura $30,000 in April. For the kids' college fund. She'd asked specifically. Said they needed to max out the 529 contributions before tax deadline. Paid them $2,000 a month starting in April. By December, that was $18,000. Derek's real estate license renewal course in May. $3,000. Investment in our family's future, Laura had said. New roof for their house in June. I paid half. $12,000. Family helps family, right, Dad? Emma's braces in July. $5,000. Insurance doesn't cover the full amount. Tyler's hockey equipment and league fees in August. $2,000. Laura's car repair in September. $4,000. Transmission just died, Dad. Can't afford it right now. Thanksgiving groceries. $500. You're eating too, Dad. Christmas gifts for the kids from me. $800. You want them to have something nice from Grandpa, right? I added it up. Opened my banking app. Checked the actual transfers. $85,000 in 8 months, not counting the room and board payments. I sat there, looking at the numbers. $85,000. For what? Tyler's hockey games. I'd been to 3. Front row, cheering. Tyler had waved once. Emma's art show at school. I'd asked Laura when it was. Oh, that was last week, Dad. Forgot to tell you. Thanksgiving. My casserole in the trash. Christmas shopping. You don't need to come, Dad. You'll just get tired. Family movie night. This one's not really your type of movie. Maybe next time. I'd become a checkbook that occasionally got used for photographs. When they needed to show their friends that Grandpa was part of the family. And someone had put poison ivy in my bed. I sat there until after midnight. Then I started making calls. First call, my old neighbor, Frank, still lived on my old street. George, how are you? Been better, need a favor. Name it. Need a place to stay. Just temporary, week or 2 while I figure things out. Silence. Everything okay with Laura and Derek? No. Can I stay? Guest room's yours. When? Tomorrow. I'll make up the bed. Second call. My lawyer. Left a voicemail. Harold, it's George Mitchell. Need to meet, soon as possible. It's about my daughter and some financial concerns. Third call. My doctor's office. After hours line. Left a message for a call back. Need documentation of my medical treatment for poison ivy exposure. Multiple incidents. Needed in writing. Then I started packing. Didn't have much. Never unpacked completely. Somehow knew it wasn't permanent. 2 suitcases, 1 box of papers. Photographs of Martha. I was out by 6 a.m. Before anyone woke up. Left $2,000 in cash on the kitchen counter. January's rent. Didn't owe them anything. Left a note. Gone to stay with a friend. Will be in touch regarding my belongings. Don't contact me. Frank met me at the door. Took one look at my arms. Blisters still visible. Jesus, George. What happened? Long story. Got coffee? We sat in his kitchen. Same layout as my old house had been. Same oak cabinets. Same view of the street where I'd lived for 43 years. Felt like going home. I told him everything. The money, the rules, the isolation, the poison ivy. Frank listened. Didn't interrupt. When I finished, he was quiet for a minute. You think Derek did it? Laura changes the sheets, but Derek has access. Why? That was the question. Don't know yet. My phone rang. Laura. I didn't answer. She called 4 more times. Left voicemails. First message. Dad, where are you? Your stuff is gone. Second message. Dad, this isn't funny. Call me back. Third message. Derek says you're having a breakdown. We need to talk about getting you evaluated. Fourth message. If you don't call back, I'm filing a missing persons report. I texted her once. I'm safe. At a friend's house. Don't contact me. She called immediately. I declined it. She texted back. Dad, what is going on? Why are you doing this? I didn't respond. Derek texted an hour later. George, we need to talk about your mental state. Laura is very concerned. This paranoid behavior is a red flag for cognitive decline. I screenshot the message. Saved it. Harold called me back at 9. George, got your message. What's going on? I told him. Everything. The money, the isolation, the poison ivy, the gaslighting about mental competence. Harold was quiet. Then, George, I need you to do something today. Go get a cognitive evaluation. Full panel. I'll send you to someone I trust. We need documentation that you're of sound mind before they try to claim otherwise. They're going to claim I'm incompetent? Derek's message about cognitive decline? That's groundwork. If they can get a doctor to question your capacity, they can challenge any financial decisions you make, maybe pursue guardianship. My chest went cold. Guardianship? Control of your assets, your medical decisions, where you live, everything. Can they do that? If they can prove you're unable to care for yourself? Yes. The fall, the poison ivy accusations, leaving suddenly. They'll paint it as erratic behavior. So I get evaluated. Today. I'll email you the address. Bring ID. Be honest with them. Tell them everything. I went that afternoon. Dr. Patricia Brennan, neuropsychologist. Spent 3 hours with her. Memory tests, problem solving, pattern recognition, emotional state evaluation, executive function assessment. She asked about the poison ivy. I showed her the photos, the residue, the timeline. And your daughter's response? Said I was paranoid. Her husband said I was having a breakdown. Are you? No. Why do you think they'd put poison ivy in your bed? Don't know, but someone did. She made notes, asked more questions. About Martha's death, about selling my house, about the money I'd given Laura. At the end, she sat back. Mr. Mitchell, I'm going to be frank. You're showing no signs of cognitive impairment. Your memory is excellent. Your reasoning is sound. Your emotional responses are appropriate given the circumstances you're describing. So I'm not crazy. You're not crazy. You're describing a pattern of financial exploitation and possible physical abuse. That's not paranoia. That's assessment of evidence. She printed out a report, handed it to me. Keep this safe. If anyone questions your competence, this shows you were evaluated and found fully capable. I took the report. Dated that day. Signed by a neuropsychologist. Insurance against whatever Derek was planning. Laura called again that night. I answered. Dad, finally. What do you want? What do I want? You disappeared. Left a note like you're running away. We're worried. Worried about what? Your mental state. Derek thinks, I know what Derek thinks. He texted me. Silence. Dad, the poison ivy thing. That wasn't rational. Found the residue. Took photos. Doctor confirmed it was poison ivy. Or you rubbed something on the sheets yourself during a confused episode. I almost laughed. You think I poisoned my own sheets? I think you're not well. I think you need help. I'm fine, Laura. You're not fine. You're 72. You fell. You moved in with us because you couldn't manage alone. I moved in because you insisted, and I paid you $2,000 a month for the privilege. That barely covered expenses. Then I'm sure you'll manage fine without it. Dad, don't be like this. Like what? Like someone who doesn't want poison ivy in his sheets. Her voice changed. Colder. You need to come back. Get your things, at least. We can talk about next steps. I'll get my things when I'm ready. We can't just store your stuff indefinitely. I paid through January. You've got time. Derek says, I don't care what Derek says. I hung up. She called back. I didn't answer. Derek texted, George, this behavior is concerning. We may need to involve medical professionals to evaluate your capacity to make safe decisions. I screenshot it, sent it to Harold. He called immediately. They're threatening guardianship proceedings. Don't engage. Don't give them ammunition. What do I do? Nothing. You're documented as competent. You're in a safe place. Let them make the next move. The next move came 2 days later. Adult Protective Services. A caseworker named Jennifer Chen showed up at Frank's house. Mr. Mitchell? I'm Jennifer Chen with APS. We received a report of concern about your welfare. Frank stood in the doorway. Who made the report? I can't disclose that. May I speak with Mr. Mitchell? I came to the door. I'm George Mitchell. She looked at my arms, blisters still healing. Mr. Mitchell, I need to ask you some questions about your living situation. We sat in Frank's living room. She pulled out a tablet. The report indicates you're experiencing cognitive difficulties, paranoid ideation, erratic behavior. The reporting party is concerned you're unable to care for yourself safely. The reporting party is my daughter's husband. She made a note. Can you tell me about the poison ivy incident? I pulled out my phone, showed her the photos, the residue, the blisters, the timeline. Your daughter says you may have applied this yourself, during a confused state. I was evaluated 3 days ago by a neuropsychologist. Full cognitive panel, perfect score. I handed her Dr. Brennan's report. She read it, made more notes. Mr. Mitchell, do you have a safe place to live? I'm staying with my friend Frank, temporarily, until I find a permanent situation. Do you have access to your finances? Yes. Are you able to manage your own medical care? Yes. I have a primary care physician. Specialists for my knees. I'm capable. The reporting party indicated you've given your daughter significant sums of money. They're concerned you're being financially exploited. By them, they claim you're giving money inappropriately, that you need oversight. I pulled out my banking records, showed her the transfers, the amounts, the dates. $85,000 in 8 months. For their house, their car, their kids. Because I'm their father, and I helped when they asked. But now I'm done helping. She made more notes, asked more questions, about the fall, about moving in with Laura, about the $2,000 a month, about leaving. At the end, she closed her tablet. Mr. Mitchell, I'm required to investigate all reports. Based on what I've seen today, I don't have concerns about your ability to care for yourself. You're cognitively sound. You have appropriate housing. You're managing your finances. I'll close this case as unfounded. What about the poison ivy? That's a police matter. If you believe someone intentionally harmed you, you should file a report. She left. Frank came back into the room. They're trying to control you. I know. What are you going to do? I pulled out my phone, called the non-emergency police line. I need to file a report about assault. They sent an officer that afternoon. Young guy, probably 30, looked skeptical when I explained. Someone put poison ivy in your sheets? Yes, multiple times. Who? My daughter or her husband, don't know which. Where were you living? With them, in their house. He made notes. Do you have evidence? I showed him the photos, the residue, the medical records, the timeline. And you think they did this intentionally? Someone did. They're the only ones with access to my room. Why would they do that? That was the question I still couldn't answer. Don't know. He took my statement, gave me a case number, said a detective might follow up. Didn't sound convinced. I didn't care. It was documented, on record. Someone had poisoned my bed. That night, Derek called from a number I didn't recognize. I answered before I realized. George, we need to talk. No, we don't. Yes, we do. You filed a police report? Accusing us of assault? Accusing someone of assault. Police will investigate. There's nothing to investigate. You're delusional. Got a neuropsych evaluation that says otherwise. One evaluation doesn't mean anything. You need ongoing care. Laura and I think residential placement might be best. Residential placement? A nursing home. I'm 72. I have artificial knees. I'm not incompetent. You're accusing your family of poisoning you. That's not rational. Someone put poison ivy in my sheets. That's documented fact. We've tried to help you. Took you in when you couldn't manage alone. And this is how you repay us? False accusations? Police reports? You charged me $2,000 a month. That's not helping. That's renting. That didn't cover our costs. Then you're bad at math. He was silent. Then, you're making a mistake, George. By protecting myself? By burning bridges. Laura's your only family. You're going to end up alone. Already am alone. Rather be alone on my terms than isolated in your house. You're going to regret this. We'll see. I hung up. Frank was watching from the kitchen. He threatened you. Yeah. What now? Now I find a place to live, get my stuff, move on. I spent the next week looking at apartments. Found a one-bedroom in a senior community. 55 and over. Ground floor. Accessible. $1,500 a month. Signed the lease. Hired movers for my stuff. Sent Laura a text with the date and time. Movers will be there Thursday at 10 a.m. to collect my belongings. Please have them accessible. She didn't respond. Thursday morning, I met the movers at Laura's house. 10 a.m. exactly. Derek answered the door. George. Derek. Movers are here for my things. Your things aren't here. I stared at him. What? We assumed you weren't coming back. We donated them. Donated my belongings? It's been 2 weeks. You abandoned them. I paid rent through January. It's January 19th. You left without notice. That voids our agreement. The movers looked uncomfortable. One guy checked his phone. What did you donate? Goodwill came Tuesday. Furniture, clothes, personal items. My photographs? My wife's things? We kept what looked important. It's in the garage. He led us through the house. Laura was in the kitchen. Didn't look at me. The garage. My things were in trash bags. Literally, trash bags. 5 bags. That's what 43 years of marriage and 72 years of life had been reduced to. I opened one bag. Photographs. Just thrown in. Loose. Some bent. My wedding album at the bottom. Pages crumpled. Martha's jewelry box. Tossed in another bag. Her mother's ring loose in the bottom. My father's watch. The one he'd carried in World War II. In a bag with old socks. I felt something crack in my chest. You threw my wife's things in trash bags. Derek shrugged. We preserved what we could. The rest was junk. Junk. Old clothes, worn-out furniture. We couldn't keep it forever. Laura finally spoke. Dad, you left. What were we supposed to do? I turned to her, my daughter. The one I'd held in the hospital 38 years ago. The one who'd cried at her mother's funeral. The one I'd given $85,000 to in 8 months. You were supposed to treat my things with basic human respect. We did. We kept the important stuff. In trash bags. We didn't have boxes. I looked at her, really looked. She wasn't apologetic. She was annoyed, inconvenienced. I'd become a problem. One she'd tried to solve with donations and trash bags. When did you stop caring? She blinked. What? When did I become junk to you? When did my life become something to throw away? That's not fair. $85,000, Laura. In 8 months. For your house, your car, your kids. And you threw my wife's wedding album in a trash bag. We kept it. In a trash bag, with socks. Derek stepped forward. George, you need to take your things and leave. You're not welcome here. I'm not welcome in my daughter's house. You accused us of assault, filed false police reports, tried to turn APS against us. No, you're not welcome. I turned to the movers. Load these bags, carefully. They did. 5 bags into their truck. 43 years of marriage. 72 years of life. 5 trash bags. I started to leave. Stopped. Turned back. Laura, one question. She looked up, wary. Did you put the poison ivy in my sheets? Or did Derek? Her face went pale. Dad, don't. Simple question. You or him? Derek moved between us. Get out, now. You did it. I was looking at Derek. Because you wanted me gone. Because I wouldn't let you control my money. Because I was in the way. You're insane. Insane enough to file a police report. Insane enough to get evaluated. Insane enough to document everything. Get out of my house. Your house. That I helped pay for. $12,000 for the roof, remember? His jaw clenched. You gave that as a gift. Did I? Or did Laura ask and I said yes because she's my daughter and I thought she loved me? Laura was crying. Dad, stop. How long were you planning to keep me there? Paying $2,000 a month? Giving you money every time you asked? Until I died? Until you could put me in a home and sell my story about how hard you tried but Dad just got too difficult? That's exactly what you were doing. I was an asset, a revenue stream. Until I stopped paying. Then I became a problem. Derek stepped closer. Leave, now, or I'll call the police. Call them. I've got a case number already. Detective might be interested in talking to you about the poison ivy. His face changed, just for a second. Uncertainty. I'd guessed right. It was you. You can't prove anything. Don't need to, I know. I walked to the truck, got in the passenger seat, watched my daughter's house disappear in the side mirror, didn't look back. At my new apartment, the movers helped me unpack the bags. I sat on the floor, sorted through the photographs. Some were bent, some were torn. But they were here. Martha's wedding album. I smoothed the pages. Some were damaged, but her smile was intact. My father's watch, still ticking. Her jewelry box. I opened it. Everything still there. Frank came by that afternoon, helped me organize. You okay? No. You will be. Maybe. We worked in silence. Hung photographs on the walls. Made the place look like someone lived there. That night, alone in my new apartment, I sat in the quiet, thought about the last 8 months. The money, the isolation, the poison ivy, the trash bags. Thought about Laura, the little girl who'd held my hand crossing streets, who'd called me crying from college when her roommate was mean, who'd asked me to walk her down the aisle. Where had she gone? When did she become someone who'd charge her father $2,000 a month and throw his dead wife's things in trash bags? I didn't have answers, just questions. And a case number for an assault that might never be investigated. And a neuropsych evaluation that said I was sane. Maybe that was enough. Harold called the next morning. George, got your address. Sending over some papers. What papers? Updated will. New power of attorney. Healthcare directive. We're making sure Laura and Derek have zero access to your medical or financial decisions. They were on the old documents? Laura was executor. Had POA. If something happened to you, she'd control everything. My chest went cold. And if they'd gotten me declared incompetent? She'd take over immediately. Your assets, your care, everything. They were trying to take control. Yes, but we're blocking them. New documents designate an independent trustee, professional fiduciary. They'll manage your assets if you become incapacitated. Laura gets nothing until you're actually gone. And even then, it goes into a trust with conditions. What conditions? That's up to you. But I'd suggest something that prevents them from burning through it in a year. I thought about that. $85,000 in 8 months. Make it a trust. For Emma and Tyler. College only. Laura and Derek can't touch it. Smart. I'll draft it. The papers arrived by courier that afternoon. I signed them. Notarized. Done. Laura called 3 days later. Dad, we need to talk. Nothing to talk about. Yes, there is. You're being irrational. You need family. Had family. They charged me rent and poisoned my bed. No one poisoned you. You're confused. Got a police report that says otherwise. A police report based on your delusions. And a neuropsych evaluation that says I'm competent. Silence. What do you want, Laura? I want you to stop this. Drop the police report. Come back. We can work this out. Work what out? How much more money you can get from me? That's not fair. $85,000 in 8 months, plus $16,000 in rent. That's $101,000. What did I get for it? A place to live. Family. Family that threw my wife's things in trash bags. We kept in trash bags, Laura. You put Martha's wedding album in a trash bag with socks. She was quiet. I'm your father. I gave you everything, and you treated me like an ATM that became inconvenient. Dad, that's not true. Then why did Derek put poison ivy in my sheets? He didn't. He did. We both know it. Can't prove it, but we know. You're wrong. Am I? Then why'd his face change when I confronted him? Why'd he threaten to call the police instead of just denying it? Silence. I loved you, Laura. Gave you everything I had, paid for your wedding, helped with your house. Gave you money every time you asked, and you let your husband torture me to try to get me to leave so you could control my assets. That's exactly what happened. Don't call me again. I hung up. She tried twice more. I didn't answer. Derek sent one last text. You'll regret this. We were your family. Now you're alone. I blocked his number. Frank came over that night, brought dinner. We ate in silence. You did the right thing, he finally said. Doesn't feel right. Never does. But you protected yourself. That's what matters. I lost my daughter. You lost someone who was using you. That's not the same as losing your daughter. Maybe he was right. Or maybe I'd just made the biggest mistake of my life. Either way, I was done. 3 weeks later, Detective Morrison called. Mr. Mitchell, Detective Sarah Morrison, following up on your assault report. Find anything? Talk to your daughter and son-in-law. They deny any involvement. Say you were experiencing cognitive difficulties. I was evaluated. Fully competent. I saw that in the file. But without physical evidence of who placed the plant material, it's a dead end. No way to prove who did it. So they get away with it. I'm sorry. Without witnesses or forensic evidence connecting them to the poison ivy, there's no case. I thanked her. Hung up. No justice. Just truth. Someone had put poison ivy in my bed. Multiple times. Made me suffer. I knew it was Derek. Couldn't prove it. But I knew. And I was done trying to make anyone believe me. I focused on my new life. My apartment. My routine. Made friends in the building. Other seniors. People who'd lived full lives and were figuring out what came next. Joined a woodworking group. Started building small things. Boxes, picture frames, birdhouses. Kept Martha's photograph on my desk. Wedding day. Her smile. She would have been ashamed of Laura. Would have been heartbroken. But she would have told me to protect myself. So I did. Emma's birthday was in March. I didn't send a gift. Didn't call. Tyler's birthday was in April. Same thing. Laura sent a text in May. The kids miss you. I didn't respond. She tried again in June. Dad, please. They ask about you. I blocked her number. Frank asked me once if I regretted it. Every day. But you're not going back. No. Why? Because love isn't supposed to hurt. Family isn't supposed to torture you. And I'm too old to keep paying people to treat me like garbage. He nodded. Good answer. I don't know what happened to Laura and Derek. Don't know if they're struggling without my money. Don't know if Emma still draws or if Tyler still plays hockey. Don't know if they tell people their grandfather is dead or just gone. Either way, I'm not coming back. I'm 72 years old. Got maybe 10 or 15 years left if I'm lucky. Not spending them being someone's ATM. Not spending them sleeping in sheets someone poisoned. Not spending them with people who put my wife's wedding album in a trash bag. I'm spending them in my own apartment, with my own rules, with people who treat me like a human being. Is it lonely? Sometimes. Is it better than being tortured by my own family every single day? That's the trade. And I made it. If you like this story, please like it, subscribe to the channel, and share your impressions in the comments. To listen to more stories, click on the window on the right. Thank you for being with us.